This is the self-titled podcast of the Golf in Japan website, where you can check essential information in English about golfing in Japan, including more than 2,000 courses. We can help you book your round and make the whole process a whole lot easier. So check out golf-in-japan.com and start planning your Japan golf trip today.
Titleist Club Fitting, the fastest way to better. With a player-focused philosophy on fitting, Titleist offers a range of club fitting experiences from drivers to wedges. Your Titleist fitting specialist, thanks to an unmatched selection of products and technology, along with a wealth of fitting knowledge, will provide you with tour-quality fitting experience that can provide immediate benefits for your game. You can experience a fitting in English while in Japan. Just go to the Golf in Japan website and click on the Titleist banner. Or check the link in the description of this podcast. Titleist, the fastest way to better.
Golf in Japan. We're January 14th. We now officially have one episode or one game of TGL under our belts, which I think we're going to get into. Various opinions on the TGL with the boys. But let's first do the greeting. Hi Damon, how are you going?
Good morning.
Joe, how are you?
Very well.
How's the life preserver?
You had the same one on when you came in. What are you talking about?
I did not. I took it off.
Where did that come? Which movie did that come from? Do you remember when he was teasing somebody about wearing a life preserver?
That was
I can answer.
Back to the Future.
Correct.
Oh, you got it.
That's right. It's
Did you know?
Back and he was wearing, yeah. Might even
And he was
fly.
going around as Calvin Klein.
That's right.
Ryan, how are you, mate?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Good to see you. I heard Ryan's been playing his pants off.
Yeah.
Where did you play yesterday?
If you're looking for nicknames, I'd probably be Mr. Short Course. So
That's taken, isn't it?
That's
Mr.
good.
Short Game. Mr. Short Game.
Addicted to golf. That's good.
Yeah. I love you go out there and it's just like there's no pressure, and they're like, oh, why don't you just go around again. So I went out around 3 times and 27 holes. So that was good.
Good on you.
Good.
So I counted it up. All my score was just really sketchy. So I'm not keeping very good track, but it's average 5 or 6, and they're all par 3.
That's great.
I had 1 or 2 pars, but I figured when I put it all together, I think it was 33 over on if you think about 18 holes, I was
all par
33
threes.
over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Averaging double bogeys.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
It's like my 6th time playing.
Where is it?
36 handicap.
Oh, it's a funny place. It's up in, they call it Osaka Golf Course.
Oh, I've heard of that place.
Have you? Yeah, because it's not Akasaka like downtown Tokyo. No, you know it. Oh yeah, well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But yeah, it's up in Saitama. About an hour drive for me, so it's not so bad to get out there.
It's a riverside.
It's not riverside, but it's
not riverside.
But it is of that ilk.
Okay.
It's like a practice course. I kind of liked it because it was really good for me because it was hard. I thought it was harder than some of the places I've played before. Just because it's kind of poorly maintained.
Yeah,
I don't want to throw
golf.
shade. I was grateful. I loved it, but it was a bit shabby. Even just trying to find where's the hole 2. Yeah. All the signs are completely worn out. Everything like that.
That's how I grew up.
Yeah,
nice
same.
tidy public.
Yeah, I did too.
Golf course. That's nothing, next to nothing for kids to play on.
Yeah, perfect. Right, and then
Ryan.
All the tee off boxes were tilted. That was kind of tricky. So trying to get your balance and everything like that. But and the greens were hard. I thought they were really hard because they're, intentionally
Frozen.
or not, hard to know, but just really slopey.
Difficult as in hard.
Difficult as in roll, you miss it and it just keeps going. It rolls right off the course and you're like, oh, I got to chip back on and stuff like that. But I noticed as well that they sprayed on all the greens.
Yeah, they did.
And you had that great Instagram video where it was showing them spraying. And at first I was like, wow, it's all the yellow grass, which is so common in Japan. Yeah. But then the greens are this beautiful green. I was like, what's going on here? But you notice you can see the gradation of where the spray paint is
Well, that's especially bent does actually hold its color, but it does fade a bit.
Yeah.
But if they're core greens, the grass goes dead. Yeah,
It goes brown.
Dead. Yeah, so we do it, but we spray fertilizer. It's a fertilizer and a food dye mixture, so it's good for the greens.
Yeah,
why not? It does stain your golf shoes though.
It does, and your ball as well.
Yeah, and your
it's
ball.
a little bit green.
Yeah,
does,
I only lost 1 ball to the trees.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
Good.
Found one exactly like it, so that doesn't count.
Good on you. All right, let's have it.
You sound like a golfer, mate. Well done.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
Just see, we were motivating with this 10% raise that we're dangling, the carrot. It's the carrot for the donkey.
It helps with the wife, like to justify, hey, it's for the family.
You're kind of building up the pressure, though. What happens if you don't get it?
I'm jumping in the ice cold swimming pool.
Can you explain to the listeners what it is?
You talked about it last week.
Oh, we did last week.
Yeah,
Sorry, we did.
But still.
And you're jumping in the ice cold waters of marital bliss as well if you don't bring back that 10%. Anyway, can we go into TGL? Because the next one's going to have Tiger in it tomorrow. It needs Tiger. It needs Tiger to come in, absolutely dust somebody. Did you see Ricky Fowler was going? Because I watched the whole thing, and I'll tell you a bit about my take on it. But Ricky Fowler was like, "There's no way that went 30 yards."
Yeah.
Right? Did you hear that? And short.
Yeah, a lot of them thought that. You can see it in their facial expressions, like.
I love simulator golf, but I feel that always happens as well.
So do I. Yeah, I don't think it's all that accurate.
Yeah, I think that happens on the course for me, to be honest.
Yeah. So I did not overshoot that.
Yeah.
I did not hit that left.
What did you think of it, Joe? The whole thing? Overall impression? Did you watch it?
I saw, it was this time last week I watched a little bit. I watched highlights. I didn't watch the whole way through. I struggle with it a little bit. I struggle with screen golf at the best of times. But I was willing to give it a try. And I didn't last long watching it. I found it just a little bit of a tough watch. I guess that in my heart, I'm probably a purist. I love the game outside, the 100%. Wind, the undulations of there's so many factors to golf, which of course you lose in that sort of situation. I thought the setup was good. I thought the whole, the big screen kind of popped. It looked really cool on, when I was watching it on my laptop. I think the resolution of the screen was really average. I struggle with that a little bit. I think it's 2025. It looked like, Atari to, 1984, that type of thing. I didn't think it was all that sharp.
It's not a real rendering of a real golf course, though. Right?
No, I think they're all made up at the moment, aren't they? Yeah.
So like the ones that we do, and I've seen the stuff that Colin puts out and the boys over at for Trackman and everything, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks much better than that, so I don't know why.
But they can't do that because they need to have the screen zone and then the green zone. And so like that's important, is that like, they need to be hitting it into like what matches the 1-to-1 in the reality that they have in the green zone.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's just saying that the quality of the graphics.
Yeah, I think the quality of the graphics. I thought the stadium was actually kind of cool. I think they've done that really well, and the rotating green and all that sort of thing.
Green is amazing.
It is.
Yeah, and the light pops up.
Yeah, and I think they had like 1 million people watching it. I think they're going to get more this week with Tiger playing, and then it's going to be interesting 100%. To see what happens.
You got ESPN.
Yeah.
Prime time on a
You could
Tuesday.
put anything on ESPN, you probably have 1 million people watching.
Yeah.
So whether it's dragging people to the game, but I thought that they gamified it quite a lot for younger people, maybe people who aren't into golf.
See, that's that's been the argument against, like, it's not taking away anything from real
different.
Golf. It's something new.
I think I got the feeling that they're purposefully making it different from regular golf because they want to get a different audience and they don't want to take away from the PGA product.
I think it's to compete with Liv too, isn't it?
It feels like it's a Liv competitor.
Yeah.
I think it is
on a totally different level.
It's team golf at the end of the day.
It's team golf. Yeah. And they bring that fun aspect to it. That Liv has that PGA doesn't. Old boring farts,
It's funny because I thought the shot clock was going to be really cool coming into it, but then actually I felt like it kind of like smothered the like sort of the pulse of a real game, because there was like, I don't know, I felt like there was just go the whole time, which sounds good, but there was no like in a real golf like tournament, like there's this moment of tension where it's like, what's going to happen, and it gets real quiet and you're focused on what they're doing as well. But with this, all the music blaring and the shot clock,
the tension actually wasn't there. So I watched. I was at loose end yesterday. It was a bank holiday in Japan, so I watched the final round of the Sony Open, which was great.
It was
playoff. It was fantastic viewing. It was just amazing golf. Some people, their wheels were popping off. It was just there was tension, right, and you could see it meant a lot to everybody. And it was just a fantastic spectacle. And then I watched the first episode of TGL again, and I was like, okay, you could actually tell that the players didn't care. Right. So whether they're picking up a paycheck now, and it doesn't matter whether they win or lose, it felt like that. It felt like they were just having a hit and giggle.
Yeah.
And the guys who were losing didn't really care.
No, I think I agree with that.
Yeah. That was my kind of criticism of, I felt like the New York Golf Club, it was like they just,
100%.
The Bay Club, maybe because they were winning, but they felt like they were a little bit more into it.
They need to find a way to engage those players that because, they're like, I don't know. I just felt like they were nonplussed about it. Shane Lowry was probably getting into a little bit. Clark, I suppose he was trying to, but Xander was like, didn't care.
Yeah, but
Ricky was just like quiet.
It's hard to have PGA pros sort of carry something like that too. I think Xander's pretty quiet. I think Shane's got something to say. I mean, he could probably carry it a little bit, but some of them can't.
Wouldn't it be great, right, if it was like winning team picks up, say, $1 million and you got like 4, like not amateurs, but like say PGA professionals. So they can play. They're not going to kill anybody in the audience. That was a great one that you put in the chat of somebody shanking, like it was just a make believe AI. Someone shanking went into the audience, killing
somebody in the.
I mean, obviously they're going to go that direction, right? They're going to start bringing in a lot of different types of guests, whether they're YouTubers
that they care, that somehow making people really care about it. So if a PGA professional was on there and he could win $1 million, he'd be playing his socks off, and he'd be devastated if he lost. I think he needs a bit of that.
Yeah,
a little bit of, because the boys are just like, we're getting paid anyway.
I think it was telling that Scotty Scheffler's not part of it, and also Victor Hovland decided when it was all going on and they were setting up contracts that they'd have said, no, we're not going to be part of it.
Is that why the Victor Hovland Live Golf, did he come out and dispel that, or is it still?
I haven't seen anything.
No,
I mean, to be honest, there's only 6 teams on the TGL.
Yeah,
it's not a lot.
No, but to leave out 2 top 20 players like Scheffler and
Victor Hovland.
Yeah, for sure. And just going back, Tiger and Roy, different teams.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Yeah. So
Tiger's on Tiger's team.
Tiger has Max Homa, Tom Kim, and Kevin Kisner.
Oh, I mean, Kisner. I mean, there's 2 players that don't even play anymore.
Yeah.
Tiger doesn't play anymore, and neither does Kisner.
Well, Kisner does play, but I think he's
occasionally he's doing commentary.
He is doing commentary as well. Yeah, I think he just got picked up as well by one of the big.
But Rory,
golf channels or whatever.
Rory's got Matsuyama.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Matsuyama, Keegan Bradley, who's actually been playing really well lately.
Yeah, he was playing.
Yeah, and Adam Scott.
Tiger and Rory have also got. They're part of it, aren't they? Haven't they invested into it? So they're earning $1 from this too.
I believe I think it's theirs.
It's theirs.
It is.
Yeah.
What's the name of Rory's club or team?
The Boston Common Golf.
Boston Common.
Celtic.
I think the names are probably a little bit better than Liv. Not that I've got anything against Liv, Damon.
He's saying something positive.
I actually like that name, Boston Common.
I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's better than Liv now. The Crushers.
I can't even think of
these.
Legion.
Ripper GT.
Ripper GC is good because it's
that's okay.
Yeah. But the other ones like the what are they? I can't even think of
the Crushers and the Fireballs and
the Range Rats or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry,
you know more about it than I do. Secretly, you're watching it, aren't you? Damn.
I reckon if Liv does have potential. I always said it, if they just tweaked it a little bit more and leaned into the country element, and probably this TGL as well.
Like what
if you
Australia have done.
Somehow tap into the Ryder Cup energy.
Yeah.
Or the President's Cup energy.
That's what they've done.
Do you see they've got their first defector? Not defector, but the guy has sort of dropped out. He was a young guy that won early. They recruited him straight out of college, and he's a really good young player. Won early, won in, I think it was Thailand, at that very prestigious, very private golf course. And he's been dropped off, and he's had a few words to say that they promised world ranking points and majors. And he said that none of it's come to fruition, and he's really disappointed and gave him a bit of a bagging. So he's sort of the first one to jump ship. And
I'm sure
so he jumped ship after not doing well.
I think he must have been demoted, something like that. And
just dry his tears and all those squillions of dollars.
Oh, he won $4 million in that event, exactly.
So maybe if he played better, he'd have different opinions.
Yeah, true. And he did say, I've been set up for life with the first check that Liv gave him. And then he won $4 million US for that event. And he's played reasonably. I mean, they always get paid. So, interesting.
Is anything developed with that rumor that John Ram would leave Liv?
Rambo.
Because you mentioned that last week.
I think that's a weekly thing. But
really?
they keep dispelling it, I think.
He's the best player on the thing. You can't get rid of him. He's the best player.
Maybe he just sort of floats that rumor out himself to get
and isn't his team?
I think he sold his soul for
the best
as
team.
well.
Ripper GC?
Yeah.
Best team, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. John Rahm is going to be the only, competition to the Ripper GC. What is it? Legion something?
Yeah, Legion.
12?
With a number? Yeah.
17?
Yeah.
14. 12. 18.
Any predictions for TGL tomorrow? Who do you think is going to win between the Florida, the Jupiter League?
It's just going to...
Jupiter Links Golf Club and the Los Angeles Golf Club.
Are you allowed to bet on this?
Yeah. No, not in Japan.
No, but
in the US.
In America,
you
yes.
Yeah.
DraftKings.
People are betting on the presidential outcome. You can bet on anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still skeptical, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like tomorrow with Tiger.
But that's the thing. This whole thing will be like, this is where you get to see Tiger competitively, and that will carry the whole thing.
Yeah,
if he plays well tomorrow and wins his match and is into it, and you see the steely Tiger coming back, done, sold, watching it every time.
Yeah. Do you think he could bring the heart as well? Because I mean, like, for a lot of, if he brings a lot of passion into it, maybe that's going to be.
He's a competitor. I mean, I remember when he won his last tournament, Zozo, and I followed him the whole round, and he was just. Yeah, he was just steely. He wasn't looking at anybody. He wasn't even talking to his caddy. He was just.
I mean, obviously, it's not going to be the same as being out on a real golf course. I get that, but it's too far different. And I love watching the old Tiger when he's, having those trouble shots. He's behind the tree. He's got to really hook this thing right around, and this isn't going to happen.
No, it's not.
You're never going to have a shot like that.
Nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just them on a simulator.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's sand traps, but that's the closest thing to any kind of like hazard.
Can they get the audience really, really drunk so that they're like hurling abuse at them?
I heard the whole audience was like, they're all like,
is it live? It's live.
It's live there. Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
you get a streak.
It'd be another. What is it? Scottsdale.
They had seat warmers there. Like they couldn't actually fill the stadium as well. So they gave people. I think they got them in there and they gave them merchandise.
I heard it was all CEOs.
It
was hard to get a ticket. So they're all like CEOs of various companies, but they were piping in all the cheering. So all that stuff is like fake,
right?
Because they're all these like.
I thought it was sold out. No,
I'm sure it's.
So it's just all sponsor seats, maybe.
I think it was like LA Country Club when they did the US Open there. Remember they were saying, it's packed full of people, and it was just like just corporate, and because the members didn't want people traipsing around the golf course, so there was a couple of holes. There was only like 20 people.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I think they've got to get rid of DJ Khaled. Did you see DJ Khaled?
Yeah,
I like Johnny McEnroe in the audience. That was cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, DJ Khaled.
No. I mean, he plays golf, of course, but he's the guy that gets on. You see him on YouTube. Let's go golfing.
Actually, but if you got like DJ Khaled and say Steph Curry and a couple of, like maybe even a couple of the Grant Horvats or whoever come in and make their own teams of celebrities, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
With Tiger and Rory maybe thrown into the mix.
Yeah.
Where is the stadium? The SoFi Stadium? Like where even is it?
I have no idea.
I didn't think to look. Yeah.
I don't know.
And there's only one of them. This is purpose built for this event, is it? Or is this inside?
It must be
something else.
It must be in Florida, I reckon, because that's where they all live.
And close. And if Rory and Tiger are doing it, they both live in Florida, I think, right? So
it's Tiger's baby.
Yeah,
Tiger needs to drive there. Probably doesn't pop any pills on the way and break the other leg.
Watch this spot. I think we'll talk about it. Yeah, I'm going to watch it tomorrow, right?
I watched the whole thing but I'll watch anything. But at the end, I was really tuning out. I was just like, especially because they were winning by 6.
Yeah,
it was just like, and it was just nonsensical, really. But it's the first one, so I think we have to give it 2 or 3. I felt
agree.
like the players didn't even know what was going on.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, so let's give Tiger's gonna bring a different level. It's gonna go up a gear, I reckon.
I can't wait until someone misses the screen. It's going to happen. Someone will shank it eventually.
Oh no! Or they hit a great shot, they pure it, and then the tech breaks.
Yeah,
and it's just like they're like, "What happened? What
does
happened?"
not compute?"
Like,
it's Full Swing, which is owned by Tiger's part of it.
Yep.
So yeah.
Oh, we all know simulators do that. You hit a crushing shot and it doesn't read it.
Yeah, I agree.
So it'll happen eventually. And like you said, someone's going to hit one of the screens or it's going to hit some metal bar and it's going to hit someone in the crowd or something.
or trip over the robot or something.
That's true.
Something like that. Yeah. But the SoFi Stadium or Center is in Palm Beach, Florida.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Good call. Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
So PGA show is next week.
It is.
It is. Yeah.
You going? Projo?
No, I'm not. I went for the first time probably a couple of years ago, and what an unbelievable event it is.
Is it?
3 days. I think there was nearly 1,000 exhibitors. Unbelievable. The way
It's like end to end. It's like quite far as well.
That's miles.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be a kilometre, but it wouldn't be much short of that. Yeah. It's unreal. And it's all people in the industry. You can't. I mean, it's not any Joe Blow off the street that can get in. If you're in the industry, you can get in, and it's really cool.
They actually have a tourism corner. And the guys who run the the golf event, the big golf event in Europe, they're the ones selling the spots on it.
Right.
So you can actually go. So at one time we were doing Japan golf tourism stuff, where we still are, but officially for the Japanese government, and we were supposed to have a booth there, but then COVID cancelled all of that, so that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, I'd like to get over at some stage.
Oh, you have to.
I'd love to.
It's a bucket list thing. It's a great week.
People say it's a bit of a beast, though. It's like, you can't see it all in one day. It's like visiting the Louvre.
But it's on for a couple of days, though, right?
Yeah,
and they have an outdoor bit and everything.
They do. Yeah, you go. There's a driving range. They have buses that go to this outdoor driving range. It's circular, so it's probably 400 or 500 meters from one side to the other, and it's completely 360. And they've got all of the different manufacturers dotted around, cool. And everybody's just standing there smashing golf balls into the middle of the. This middle of this driving range. It's really good.
Easy.
Yeah, it's great.
So I wonder what great technologies are going to be coming out then. So it's not just simulators, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Rangefinders.
Yep.
We should do everything we can to suss it out.
Look, you should go.
Lots of things get launched.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so we'll be at next week's show, maybe that'll be too early. The week after, we'll be able to talk about new stuff
what's
that's
been
coming
released.
out. Yeah. Lots of new clubs coming out. And speaking of which,
wow.
Titleist. We went for we had a rip of the new.
Oh, you did.
Utilities.
That's right. You
on
said
Friday.
that. I didn't get the invite. It must be lost in the mail. But continue, guys.
Amateurs only, apparently.
You had to be over 6 foot to do it.
I'm 6'2".
You are not.
Good luck with
down
that.
on this table. I am.
Were you going to blow into your life preserver and get an extra few inches? Jesus.
But we tested out the new utilities and the new
nice.
GT1 Driver.
Oh, okay. So it's not the mini driver.
No.
No, the GT1 was.
That's coming.
Okay, right.
Everyone knows it's coming. That was GT1 Driver. I was ripping it.
Yeah,
I was ripping it. But it was going. I was spraying it a little bit, and
it's the most forgiving out of all the drivers. Is usually the one is the most. It's not.
I don't know. Is it forgiving?
Yes, it is.
It wasn't for me.
And it's also, I think, it's got the most amount of spin as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you go down the line like 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
You're probably losing a little bit of distance maybe on 3 and 4. Is that right? No, it goes a little bit lower.
Yeah, they're designed to keep the ball less spin, so designed to keep the ball in the fairway.
That's right.
People a little bit more spin, haven't got as much speed, need the spin, get the ball up in the air. Generally, a club that's a little bit more forgiving.
Yep,
a little bit more.
So, the one, GT1.
Yeah, the one.
Correct.
Yep.
But I never played a utility before. Just only had fairway woods.
Sure.
Just never really went out and bought one. And they were like, "Oh yeah, just have a hit of it." And I was like, "How do I set it up? Do I set it up like a wood, or do I set it up like it?" So I start setting it up like an iron, and that was okay. But when I set it up like a wood, I was ripping it.
Were you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it actually felt like the 7-wood. I don't know if you get the 7-wood vibes, because it kind of dips down a bit in the middle.
On the neck, yeah.
Yeah. So, and they were saying, "Yep, this is great," and I was hitting it about 220.
That's good.
So that was a 25 degree.
Oh, okay.
So like a 4 iron, I suppose.
Yeah, like a 4 or 5 iron.
Yeah. So, and it was just really easy to hit.
Are you sold on it? Do you think you'll put one in the bag?
I'm putting one in the bag.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, likewise.
Are you?
Yeah,
60 degree.
GT2.
Okay. Yeah.
GT2
GT2,
for utility.
yeah. But both of us thought the same thing. The GT2 was just, and they were like, "You should play this out of rough," because the boys had played it
that's right.
on the course. And they were like, "This thing out of rough just goes like the clappers up like sold, getting in 60 degrees straight."
I've been waiting for this club because I've only got 13 in the bag.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the distance wise, it's perfect.
Yeah, good.
So
I have 4 wedges, so time to get rid of some of them.
What are your lofts on your wedges?
56, 58, 60, and a pitching, whatever.
Hang on, you've got 56, 58, 60.
I know.
It's a lot of wedges
So the 50,
in a very short area.
Yeah, I know. So the 58 I use for just pretty much approaches,
right?
Like kind of 60 to 80 yards kind of things. And then the 60 I was just hitting out of bunkers,
sure,
or very
like you need to make it go up.
Yep. But I can do that with the 58 as well.
And then you're 56.
And they're all
56
same
long
bounce?
bunker shots.
Yeah, okay.
Long bunker shots I'm crap at, so 56 seems to work.
So you and I grew up with 56. That's probably why you're still comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of people use a 56. I think Tiger still uses a 56.
Truthfully, I only had 56 in my bag till about a year ago, and I got the wedge fitting.
Okay, well that's yeah.
So then I became like a wedge freak. I was just all about the wedges.
Yeah, you could probably drop out the 58 because that's very close to the 60.
58. So I'm going to drop the 60.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can turn the 58 into the 60 very easily anyway.
So how many clubs do you have in the bag?
14.
Oh, you've got 14. Yeah.
Okay.
But I like my irons. I have a full range of irons as well, so up to 5.
So what's your lowest wedge then?
My lowest wedge is a pitching wedge.
So you go from pitching to a 56.
It's a big gap in there because you've got the tee. Which irons have you got?
He's hit the 100s, which is 100. A 46 degree.
Yeah, so there's 10 degrees in there. Yeah,
you could probably do another wedge.
You should. And
I got them all gapped.
Yeah, so you should get another wedge in and lose a driver.
Not happening. Actually, that'd probably be good for my. So I'm smoking the drives, but they're just going left and right, and just can't control it at all. So
you hit your 7-wood, and obviously now the new utility better than your driver.
Yeah, I hit the 3-wood well as well. Yeah, so but mini driver's coming.
I can't wait.
So
for that
could
club.
Replace my actual.
I can't wait for that club.
Yeah. Interesting.
A few months. I can't say when, but coming out.
Can we not?
What was the Phantom line?
Was the Butters.
Okay. Yeah, because so
Scotty Cameron's.
The embargo's up on that already, and then the other ones like, or some of the GT1, the GT2 utility, GT3 utility, those are all the embargo's up on Thursday. So by the time this comes out,
yeah, we didn't see the new Scotty Cameron Phantoms, but I guess they're bringing out a couple of new lines of Phantom putters.
Yep.
Okay, which is really nice.
Yeah,
and I think there's something else in the work for Scotty Cameron as well, which I'm pretty sure we can't talk about.
No,
I think the ball goes out to retail. I think maybe this week.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
the ball was great, by the way.
Yeah,
yeah, it was really good. I still like the left dash the best, but
yeah, me too. Yeah, that's me.
Great.
That's a great ball.
It's a great ball, man.
Yeah,
it's so different. Yeah, we're really geeky today, aren't we?
Yeah,
geeking out on these clubs.
Yeah. You were saying about the oil can. Is that the color? Oil can.
Yeah.
So that's the embargo's up on that on Friday. So
and that's for the
wedges.
New wedges.
So
yeah.
they have an oil can, which is, how would you describe it? It's kind of goldy.
Yeah.
It's the new putters is oil can. Is
no wedges.
Oh, the wedges.
They're coming out with
like
two extra Vokies with a K bounce.
That's right. It was the grind. That's right. There was a new the K grinds coming out.
Okay.
Which apparently is easy to hit bunker shots and easy to hit off tight lies.
Okay.
So correct. The bounce is not like that. It's more of a shaved bounce. That's my understanding.
Shaved.
Anyway.
Minji.
Going at you live. Wait, hang on. I have the sound for that one. You ready? Good one, Jeff. Okay, back on to serious things about golf in Japan. So I got a good question. It was a girl called Julie from, where did I say she was from?
Kansas
in America.
Okay. We get a lot from Kansas.
Do we?
Yeah. Well, all the questions come from people out of Kansas.
Ryan, where are you from?
Kansas
from
and
Kansas?
Ohio.
Yeah, that might as well be. Yeah.
Your family calling in, is it?
Yeah, Julie. I think that's
Julie, you're not in Kansas anymore.
Cousin Julie.
So anyway, her question is, she's coming over for the Osaka Expo happening this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's going on for a month, and she must be working there. So she's saying there's a couple of guys, there's a big golf, how do you say, contingent within the US pavilion, and they're looking for a couple of games before and after. And she said, is it going to be packed? Is it going to be wrecked? Where should we play? Can you guys help?
It's going to be packed, but don't worry, we can sort it out.
Where would you say because you can imagine they're staying. Where is that? Do we know where they're?
Yeah, it's down in, I think, Sakai or something, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
it's out of the area.
So the accommodation, they'll be going back into town.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I mean, there's so many good golf courses. You can go into places like a partner course, like Hana Country Club. Which is really accessible. But you can also do a bit of a trek out to Hyogo area. And there's so many great courses. I mean, Joe's chomping at the bit to talk about Taiheio out there.
Yeah, our Rocco course is worth playing.
Yeah,
We've
absolutely.
got 3 down there,
course.
and Arima shares a boundary fence. And then Takarazuka is another good track.
We have, so I can't remember if I did it or you did it. We wrote an article about Kansai Golf.
Oh, you did?
And it was staying in Osaka. And then actually
correct,
I played Rocco.
And played Rocco.
And I played Takazuka.
Which is our flagship down there.
Man, I liked Rocco.
Rocco's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good golf course.
I didn't like the 7:15 in the morning lunch they made me have, but other than that, crazy good closing stretch.
Yeah, the last hole's a great hole. Really strong.
So I got water and then you got this Tudor house.
Yeah, the Tudor sort of style clubhouse is nice.
And right over the fence is the other golf course.
Yeah, Arima course.
Arima course, yeah.
It shares a boundary fence. So
best course out there, Arima Royal.
Arima Royal.
I've heard really good things about that.
Yeah.
That was a snooty, can't play on it anymore, but now they've changed.
It depends on the day. Yeah, weekdays 100%. Weekends probably not, but yeah, great course. Yeah, and the practice facilities there is amazing as well.
Yeah,
this looks like something.
So when we were looking after those guys, a couple of guys from Australia and the UK came over. Just they were tour operators and they were trying out a few golf courses. They said that by far was the best that they've played.
Yeah.
So they were saying that one is mint and the condition is very, very
nice.
nice.
I did the hand holding for that one, and I didn't get to play, but I went onto the course with them.
Yeah.
And just showed them around the facilities and everything. So nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
I want to play there.
Apparently, the expo is on Umeshima Island out in Osaka Bay. It's a man-made island.
Is that near the airport kind of thing?
Probably, yeah.
Well, there's more great courses at the airport. Yeah, there's Misaki, there's Kansai Kuko course. There's a lot of courses out there.
Yeah.
I like what you were saying too, where you can kind of like get a little bit out of the area too and come down. I'm sure they're going to want to see Kyoto and
or you could jump on a train and head over to Shiga.
Yeah.
Play that Prince course with the Shiga Country Club, is it? Shiga Golf Club.
Oh, in Shiga?
Yeah.
Seta.
Seta. That's the one. That's the Prince
the North
one,
course. Yeah. Very nice.
That's a top 10 golf course in Japan, right? You can play it to public.
Have you had any requests for Osaka Golf Club?
Yeah, we booked that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
That's a great looking golf course, I think. Got really good views right by the water. Very sort of old traditional looking golf club.
Had someone play there once, and they were so impressed with it. They literally said, "We've got one more day free. We don't want another course. We want to go play the same course again."
If anybody's listening, you should check it out because it looks amazing. It's very old school. I want to go down there and play it. It's at the top of my bucket list.
Have you spent a lot of time in Osaka?
Very little.
Oh, really? What about you?
A little bit here and there. I know you're an expert on the Universal Studios.
I've been to Universal far too many times. I did go to Osaka Castle last time.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah, I like
Castle
it.
Was cool.
It's like a shopping mall. It's not the original,
and it's got in Tokyo you can't walk in the grass and all that. In Osaka you can, so you can have a little picnic in this park. So there's people playing frisbee and having a kick around and bringing their dogs and stuff. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
very nice vibe around there.
Westerners tend to like Osaka because it's a bit more open too. Like the staff at the coffee shop or whatever like that will be much more willing to have a conversation with you, or like it's just people are much more friendly.
Golf shops are definitely more friendly. So we know that from our article down on our top article on the website is Osaka's best golf shops.
Right.
Everyone's just checking it out. And I know we should do one as well on the Osaka's best boozers because I know
you should be an expert.
Yeah. I've only gone out. I've gone out once or twice in Osaka.
Okay.
I have, but it's always been Umeda. And you just,
Shinsaibashi.
What do you call that? Shinsaibashi, yeah, that's another play. I played an Irish gig there a few years back. Oh, that was good crack, actually. Good fun. We did an Irish music festival in Osaka about 20 years ago.
They've got great like izakayas and stuff down there. Yeah, really.
Okonomiyaki.
Or like the street food.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Okonomiyaki and then a few beers. And they have like the liter beers.
Oh, do they?
And it's cheap as chips, man. It's for nothing.
You're saying this to me while I'm doing dry January.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still on that.
Well, my little sister actually said you're supposed to drink dry white wine during January, dry January.
That's the workaround, yeah.
Thank you, Lizzie. I hope you're watching.
And listening. Dry January. That must be tough, man.
It's tough.
How's
2
it going?
weeks in. Yeah, it's good, actually. I'm enjoying it.
Halfway through.
Yeah, halfway. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And you gone back to the gym and everything? Getting
Oh,
buff?
no, I run a lot. But
do you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
How far do you
I just feel 7 to 8 clicks.
Good on you.
A day?
To that. Almost. Yeah.
Every day?
Yeah, often.
Kilometers or miles?
Yeah, kilometers, no. Miles.
Yards?
Yeah.
I could probably run that. Yeah, 17 yards. I can do that.
But it just makes me feel a little bit better about myself not waking up with a hangover. So
it does, yeah.
That's the upside.
Important.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
So it's an early morning run.
Yeah, I did one this morning. Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah.
I want to do that golf triathlon this year. It's going to kick off again soon.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
I don't know about running the golf course. I could definitely cycle it. I could play golf. Sure. But running it's going to be the problem. How many K is a golf course generally?
It's 10. About 10.
10K?
Yeah. So it's 7, usually about, say, 7,000, 8,000 yards, but then you're walking from greens to tees.
I thought it depends on the player, how far the...
True.
I'm pretty sure I've done it before. It's like 15 Ks.
Look, if you're going a bit sideways, you could
just run it on the car path.
But you hit it straight, so you're okay.
They televise that, the triathlon. Is that on TV and stuff?
It's a golf triathlon. It's a kind of a new thing. I think it was invented in Japan, but I could be wrong on that. But it started a few years ago, and I remember they started it in Mie in Sioux Country Club, and Paul went down, and Paul did it. I think Paul came top 5.
He was a good runner.
He was.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that he was an alternate for the Canadian Olympic team, the long distance thing.
Alternate for what?
For running.
Really?
Yeah, he was a long distance runner.
Okay, he's told me he was a good long distance
And then
runner,
apparently, and he didn't drink. He never had experienced drink or women or anything like that. And he was like, I guess he was in his late teens or something like that. And then as soon as he didn't get picked for the team, he said he just went on the lash and had a girlfriend. Never ran again.
It's never been the same since.
God love him.
Yeah.
So a mate of ours, Stefan, as well. He's done the triathlon before at what was it, Izu Country Club?
Oh yeah.
Really up and down, but
Yeah.
I've played that golf course. I wouldn't fancy running it.
oh goodness me.
God, no.
That sounds like a replacement for the shot clock to keep the game exciting. Is if everyone just had to like run after it, so it's like half race, half golf. That's like that's what they do in the game
Mate,
Mario.
There's some golf courses in Japan. They're so mountainous. You'd want to be mountaineering.
Yeah.
That's a great comment
Climbing.
actually, because we get a lot of people ask us, look, do we have to use the cart, the buggy?
Yes.
We want to walk the course, and so many courses in Japan are mountainous.
Yeah.
So
Our Tsutsuji course, like we actually have.
Oh, yeah, that is.
I'll bring you out there, right? So it's automatic cart, but there's these billy goat passes that the cart goes on its own, and then you get in one of the, those ski lifts.
Oh, yeah.
And we bring you down.
Yep.
We bring you
like
down
a little
to the next
gondola.
tee.
What about
like a gondola.
I think it's 17th green to 18th tee. Is that the one that goes all the way up? Yeah.
Yeah, it goes through this Hinoki forest.
Yeah,
kind of
that's
thing.
right.
Why
It's a
don't
long way.
people ride the cart going down? It's just like it's like a hairpin turns and stuff.
Yeah,
or?
I mean it's just it puts stress going up, going down. They can going up. It puts a lot of. It's very steep. So if you sit on the cart, it's
Yeah.
like a gasoline.
wow.
So you hear it go,
it
and with
struggles,
like
doesn't
4 Gary Gaijins in it. It's not gonna- Maybe if there's 4 Joes in it, it should be all right.
Yeah,
All 6'2".
just really inflate the vest. And,
6'2". Get out of town. Okay. Well, anyway, thanks for the email, Julie, and
Yeah, Julie,
we hope you have
hopefully
a good.
that helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the question again?
it's not Osaka.
Are you actually going to go to the Osaka Expo?
No.
I think it's going to be good. No.
Sure it would be.
Would love to, but it's just I don't know. It's just like without a reason, it's hard to go. But if there was a reason to go, I'd be stoked. But just the reason unto itself, just to go doesn't seem like it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just hear about it from you when you get back.
I'll go. Why not?
Why not?
Couldn't be as packed as Universal Studios. That's for sure. But yeah, I like those type of things. Seeing I like going to the golf ones as well, and you see you sit down and you learn about the different cultures and the food, and hopefully the golf courses as well. Why not?
It'll be interesting what kind of cultural footprint it leaves as well, because the one that they had one long time ago, they still talk about it, and they still have that famous statue that kind of looks like a bird, and that's a tourist thing. And the mascot for this one coming up though is awful, right? It's like this donut of eyeballs. You've seen that mascot? It's terrible. It's like
an anime thing?
my opinion. Yeah, it's like it's almost more like a plushie. Like it looks like
eyeballs.
Yeah, and they try to put it in shops and decorate with it, but it's not to my taste. So.
They're always
It's so weird.
I have to say, Japanese government always is bad for that kind of stuff. Like they won't hire designers or architects or anything like that. They'll just have some regular people who maybe were in the tax office the year before, and they get moved into you're in the expo office now.
Yeah,
it's always like that in Japan. Unfortunately, even my experience with the tourist office, they might have been in completely something different, like the tax office, and then they get moved into tourism and they know nothing about it.
Right.
And every 3 years, they just as they start to learn about it, they get moved into something else.
Yeah,
that's the way they do it in Japan. But anyway, shall we talk a little bit about tour? There was only one event as far as I know.
Yeah, the Sony Open at Wailea Country Club.
It was awesome. Loved it.
As I said, the Sony Open, which is actually always quite cool for Japanese players, because they obviously have a fair amount of spots for Japanese players. So I think this year there was 8 players in the field.
Is that because it's Sony?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have some spots for the local players. 8 players played, with only 3 making the cut. We'll talk about that a little bit afterwards. I watched it. I thought it was quite good. The field wasn't particularly strong, but 36-year-old Canadian Nick Taylor won his 5th PGA event, beating Nicholas, I'm going to ruin this, Echeverria. Is that right?
Sounds pretty good.
In a playoff. He was the young fellow who won at the Zozo last year, and he's been playing really, really good golf lately. Both Stephen Jaeger and JJ Spawn, they were there near the lead, but they both failed to birdie the last hole to get into the playoff. So Echeverria said that if Nick Taylor, It is right, isn't it? Yeah, Nick Taylor didn't pitch in on the last, which I'll get to in a second. He would have won the event. So anyway, he eagled the last hole
it's true.
to get into the playoff.
Yeah, he was like a 35-foot breaking chip that he did on an extremely fast green, and it just went straight in the hole.
He had a great big rope hook 3-wood off the tee and then hit, I think it was a long iron into the green. He hooks the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Hit it back left against one of the marquees, and they gave him a drop, and he got a really good drop away from the rough just on the edge of the green. Pitched it in, got into the playoff, go back, won it on the second playoff hole with a birdie.
Echeverria should have won it.
He should have. He three-whacked it from 40 feet. Yeah, which was a shame.
With a putter.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
So good on him. I mean, he's been playing really. He's won five times, and it's actually only been in the last couple of years that he's won.
Yeah, he won. I remember he won the Canadian.
Yeah, he did.
Canadian Open, yeah.
He's won at Pebble Beach. He's won at some really good places.
With another 60-foot putt or something, right?
He did too. That one in the Canadian Open, he bombed that. Yeah, that was in a playoff. So he's quite clutch.
Yeah,
every time he gets the opportunity to win, he closes the
cool
deal.
Customer.
Yeah, he's a cool customer. And the other cool thing about him is he's a Titleist guy.
Yeah.
So he's a full staffer. So he's actually got it written down here. He uses the driver, a hybrid, the ball, of course, T100 irons, and some Vokey wedges. So good on you, Nick. I'm not sure if he played the new ball or not. But I think he's been a full-line player for quite a while. Actually, what was interesting, I took down some notes about Titleist this week. Out of 144 players, 105 players used the ball, either the Pro V1 or the Pro V1X, which is 7 times the nearest competitor. So they obviously just dominate the ball count. But they dominate the ball count, right? Because it's the best ball in golf. The other thing that was kind of cool is there were 62 players of 144 used the Titleist driver. So it's 43% of the field are using the driver. Now, I'm not sure if it's the GT or the past models, but probably most of them are using the GT. And a third of those players are actually not contracted to Titleist as well.
Wow.
Which is really big. Because in past it's been other manufacturers have sort of dominated that, but Titleist are doing really good.
Yeah, I remember Justin Rose, when he became a free agent, didn't he switch all of his clubs to Titleist?
Yeah, there's been a few of them. Yeah.
That was kind of a thing with Matsuyama too when he broke a record recently. It was with the Scotty Cameron.
Titleist
adjacent.
Yeah.
Which must drive Strixon absolutely bananas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because he's everything is Strixon.
He is Strixon, but actually, I've never seen a Strixon putter. I'm sure they make putters.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But I think we looked it up, didn't we?
Don't they own? Well, we did this before. So it's Dunlop, Zexio, the XXX.
Yeah, Dunlop,
and they're all the same group, right?
Right. They're all owned by Sumitomo Rubbers.
Sumitomo.
Maybe there's no S at the
trading
end of that.
company in
Weird,
Japan. Sumitomo, one of the top 4 trading companies in Japan. So a lot of lolly there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Strixio definitely have a putter. I've seen that.
Yeah, they would too. Yeah. So it probably does hurt their feelings a little bit. But anyway, the 3 guys that made the cut, Kensei Hirato, we talked a little bit about before. He's won 6 times in the last couple of years. He won 4 times last year. He's only 24 years old, and he was leading after the second round.
He was playing so well.
He was. And I thought this is a big stage for him to win on, and he sort of faded away. I think if he finished 21st in the end, finished at 10 under, which is still a really good effort.
Yeah.
The leading Japanese player was the club throwing Hideki Matsuyama, who finished 11 under for tied 16th. Now, did you see it?
Yes.
No, I missed it.
You did see it.
Really?
No, what happened?
He literally let go of the. You know how sometimes he has a really good shot and he does one.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Both hands.
Yep.
Let go, and the club went flying into the gallery.
And it hit a couple of people.
Oh, jeez.
It
hit really?
It did.
Will he get fined for that? He has to.
He has to. I mean, he's got to stop doing it.
He does.
I mean, it didn't hit them very hard, but it flew behind him 5 or 6 meters.
I mean,
that's different.
He straight away he ran over.
He did.
He very apologetic. Clearly, he probably meant to do the one-hander, and it got away from him.
Yeah. So he's hit it. So the funny thing was,
it was a great shot.
He's hit it way left off the tee, and that's why he threw the club. And then the second shot, he's almost hit it out of bounds, hit it through the gap in the trees, short, 20 yards short, and then pitched it up to about 10 or 12 feet and hold it for birdie.
That's right. But did you see the gap, though, of the trees?
Well, I don't think he was trying to go through that gap, though.
He was not.
No. There was a big gap like that. There was 2 trees kind of going across.
Correct.
And he just hit it in this weird little space.
Yeah,
it's like
so
having that
small
figure 8 and it's
that's
right in between.
Right through it. Yeah.
Even he was surprised to me.
So that was after he had the club throwing incident.
Mate, there's no marks for that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, he
I
has
hope
to stop.
They fined him for that.
Look, I don't know what goes on. Anyway, Ryo Hisatsune was the third player who made the cut, and he finished at tied 56. And Hoshino Kanaya, unfortunately, we talked about. I've got big reps on him. Missed the cut. Onishi also missed, and then 16-year-old amateur
Matsuyama.
Yeah, Matsuyama, Mao Matsuyama didn't make the cut. He finished dead last, but still good effort just to get into the field as a 16-year-old.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Unbelievable.
And where did Matsuyama finish? 16th?
Finished tied 16th.
So he actually did play okay. He was
11 under. Yeah.
So he's 2 under, 3 under.
I think 16. Nick won it at 16 under, so he's 5 off the.
Yeah, not bad. Maybe they should get him. You know those things that you put on your kids' gloves, like a string, so you don't, so they don't lose them. So you should do that.
Like a Wii remote.
Yeah, a Wii remote.
Yeah, chain it to him.
Yeah, not a good look from Hideki. So he needs to stop doing that. But that was pretty much it. It was a pretty cool event.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
yeah. And comparing it to
the week before,
the TGL.
Oh, the TGL.
The TGL. I watched it back to back. I was like, no.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
No.
Yeah,
I consulted the thing, and apparently Shrixon does not make putters.
They do not. I did the same.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does
Dunlop does.
So under
what
I got back from it is that under the Dunlop Sports Group, Cleveland Golf has a high quality putters.
Oh, I see.
And wedges.
Yeah.
So there you go. Oh
yeah.
Well, what's this week? So the Dubai Desert Classic is still called that. That's showing me.
I don't know. I can't wear that.
I think it's called the Hero Dubai Desert Classic. Yeah, maybe it's called the Desert Classic.
There's not enough like brand names in there. It's got to be the the Mitsubishi or the.
It used to be called the Dubai Desert Classic, and they'd go over there and be nothing there. It was just a golf course in the middle of the desert. Now it's all like as far as I can see, it's buildings.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
So that's this week. That'll be good.
Damon, have you got the DP World
Tour? That's
not.
That's DP.
DP World Tour.
DP World Tour.
Okay. Yep. Otherwise, it's the American Express this weekend.
Oh, actually, they've got a pretty good field.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
Yeah,
that's the first one back.
Playing. Yeah,
PGA West.
Yeah.
So where is that?
Pete Dye course. It's called PGA West. So
hopefully it's not affected by all the fires and stuff. It's
shocking
because it's the West Coast swing, right?
Yeah,
they call it.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible.
What do you mean? That was it? Still is.
It's still going.
It's still going on.
Yes.
No, it's shocking. It's like
tragic.
a Hollywood movie,
isn't it?
It's tragic.
Tragic.
Yeah, it's just tragic. Like when you see the drone, like the footage of people flying over and just like where houses used to be. I mean, just think about the families who all lost their houses and stuff.
I know it's not the time to be pointing fingers and stuff like that, but I've seen a couple of like things on reels and whatnot of how it started.
Yeah.
Like just out of one person's house up on the hill.
I did it.
Yeah. It's just tragic.
Well, they talked about like you've seen that clip where it has Joe Rogan and he's talking with a firefighter guy and he was saying how like, like we're lucky that it hasn't happened yet. And he was talking with this guy in like 2018.
Yeah.
He's like, someday it's just going to get the bad wind and it's just, there's nothing,
that
we
wind
just can't stop
ripping.
it.
80 mile an hour.
A lot of that comes down to
hurricane forces. Just
they get the
perfect storm, wasn't it?
And the embers fly through the air. I mean, you can't stop that sort of thing. I mean,
get out
apparently there was not enough
but there was
water
a few people whose houses were saved because they'd come close to a few years before and then they set up like a sprinkler system on their house and then they left it and just went off and came back. Their house was okay.
And then you've got the other houses that had nothing and remarkably just fire passed them by.
Yeah.
It's remarkable that that golf course Riviera survives.
That was close, apparently.
Because
I was listening to something that they were talking about.
I seen it on Twitter.
Close. Yeah,
some guy was posting saying like his
close
house
to the clubhouse,
and it was his house was completely gone, and the golf course was right behind it, and it was fine.
Yeah,
Did they have their sprinklers on?
Yeah, it seems like it makes a difference.
Although our golf course went on fire a few years ago.
Did it?
Yeah, did I tell you
which one?
So it's it was at Tsutsugaoka. Okay. So it's the one that we're talking about that has it's on the mountain and it gets very dry and they don't get any rain sometimes in the winter. And it's just someone smoked and it's really windy as well. Someone was smoking a dart, didn't put it in the ashtray properly and it went off. And he called it in. He was like, it was my fag. And it just went immediately. So while people on the golf course were pulling them in, if you think about it like a mountain, right? So there's two mountains in a big valley and it goes up, it kind of wraps around the mountain going up. So there's a hole, then there's another hole going that way, there's another hole going that way, and it goes up like this, right? Until you get to the top. And it was just ripping up the thing. So it went across fairways and the wind was really blowing it. So we had like, I think 20 fire trucks came out onto the course.
Wow.
And it just ripped all the way up to the top of the mountain. Then it stopped. So they had stopped it. But it was funny because we were like, oh, this golf course is going to be closed. It's going to be, you know, all the trees were burnt, everything. We mowed it, and it was like, you could see it was like a little bit discolored, but it was fine.
Wow.
So, yeah, a funny thing was when it was going through the forest, all the OB balls were exploding. So the whole golf course was full of all these balls from like the last 30 years.
Really?
Exploding and flying out onto the golf course, yeah. So it was all these OB balls everywhere.
Wow. What an image. Yeah, wow.
So
it was weird,
what
yeah.
hole was it?
It started right at the bottom, right? So I'd say it was on the second or third hole, and then it went up. So, sorry, I should
the par
say
4 that goes down the hill.
it was
to the left?
only 9 holes of the golf course. So it was 8
Okay.
holes of the golf course affected. So
Right.
one side going up the mountain on one side.
Starting with which hole?
I think it was the second.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it goes up that way.
Is that the long par 3?
Long par 4. Second hole is the hardest hole in the golf course is like a long par 4.
No, after the par 5 beside
The lake.
Yeah, okay.
So after that
Yeah,
one,
I see.
yeah. So I think it was there. So it was just incredible. But yeah, it was. But I guess they said every now and again they do get fires up there, and the trees and everything are really. You wouldn't be able to see it now, and that only happened like 2-3 years ago. I think
It's all
during
grown
COVID.
back.
Yep, all grown back.
Yeah, okay.
What month was it?
February.
February, yeah. I mean, if you think about it now, it's like, how dry is it right now?
Super
I mean,
Yeah,
look
it's
behind
dry.
Kieran and Ryan. It's just beautiful blue sky.
Yeah.
It's been like this for like the last 2 months.
Yeah, it
We've
is.
had
Yeah.
1 day of rain in about 6 weeks.
It's true.
It was
It's
supposed
so
to. It
dry.
was supposed to snow on Sunday. It didn't snow.
No, not
Yeah.
even
Didn't even
close.
rain. It wasn't even cold.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Anyway, yep. Heart goes out
Yeah.
to all the people in
absolutely.
the US
Yeah.
suffering out there.
Yeah.
Seems like there's
terrible.
something to do with like forest management as well. Like if they like thin the trees or something like that. I wonder if like maybe a golf course could survive because there's, you know, the trees, there's not so much, there's nothing to burn. You know, I mean, maybe the grasses and stuff like that, like as we're talking about with the dryness, but
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to what you said, it is called the Hero Dubai Desert Classic.
The Hero. So Hero is sponsoring that as well.
Yeah.
That's interesting. They sponsor 2 events.
That's Tiger's event too, isn't it?
Yeah, the one in Bahamas. Is it?
Yeah.
That one is also quite sandy. I thought that was interesting because like, you know, I'm still sort of new to it, but just seeing like it looked like a desert course.
Yeah.
There.
It's got all those native areas. There's a very famous clip of where they moved the rock for Tiger's ball.
Oh, that's right. They did too. Yeah.
What'd they do?
So
It's
he
an
hit it.
enormous rock. Sorry, Kieran, go ahead.
Tiger sprayed it into the desert area, but it's not OB. So he went in and his ball was like in behind a rock, like a huge boulder.
Like like this.
But it's an immovable object, so you're allowed to move it. So
Yeah.
he got like 20 or 30 spectators just rolled the thing and then he hit it. And then I think he made par.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see Tiger tomorrow.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see.
It's going to be good.
What do you think about the whole thing that I think it's Puma is suing
And Schlesinger, right?
him?
We put it in the
Yeah.
chat, right? So
Yeah.
isn't the Schlesinger logo more like the
100%.
Puma? I would.
I agree.
Schlesinger looks exactly the same. You can almost overlay them. And,
Yeah, you
and the
can
Schlesinger is a tiger and has stripes on it.
Yeah.
So if I was Schlesinger, I immediately put it in the chat. I was like, look at Schlesinger. We were saying that on the podcast months
Yeah.
ago when he announced Sunday Red.
Yeah. It's too close, but it'd be interesting to see what.
But you know what?
that is.
Because can't he just say they're jumping the opposite direction to Puma? I mean,
Yeah.
and yours is a Puma and mine's a tiger.
Yeah, I'm sure he can
Or is
afford
that too obvious?
good attorneys, so I'm sure
Yeah.
he'll be okay. But we'll see.
It's good PR for all of them, I reckon.
It is.
Yeah. Well, except for maybe Puma. I mean, like, it kind of makes them look like, I don't think it makes them look good. You know, it's like, it's a jumping cat. And his is different. It's got stripes and everything like that, opposite direction. I don't know. Like, I don't think, it just sort of seems petty on Puma's part.
Can we talk?
I don't.
You mentioned
I
it
think
last
it could
week.
come
We
out
didn't
original.
talk about. I think I interrupted you.
Max
Homa moving to Cobra.
Yeah, Cobra and Puma.
That has to be a move down for him.
Oh, no doubt. So he's definitely. I think he's gone for the money.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah. So they're obviously paying him truckloads. So I think Lululemon are the clothing sponsor who also sponsor.
Wow.
What's the young Australian? His sister's also a good player. God, I can't believe it.
Min
Minwoo Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So there's those two wearing the gear, and then he's gone to Cobra, who used to be owned by Titleist, and then Titleist sold them off in
Really?
2010. So I was using when Titleist owned them, I was using it at about 2007 or 8, and Cobra were good, and I won't say the name, but the head of Titleist in this particular area said it was looking after a Cobra was like looking after a sick child. He said it just took an enormous amount of work to make it work, and it was doing okay. But I think when they sold them, I think they were quite happy. But it was a really good brand. I think
Like
great
Nike.
drivers and
Night Golf.
yeah, Yeah,
I've heard stories of the same type of thing.
Hard work. Actually, it was Cobra Golf was started by an Australian back in the 60s.
Really?
Tom Crow was his name. Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's still alive. And then sold it to Fortune Brands, which is Titleist, and now it's Puma, and now Max is using it. I don't think it's the driver. I think he's still using the Titleist ball. The driver, I think, would be the difficult one because the irons are 3D printed, which really just means they've got Titleist irons and they've copied them. So I think the transition to with the irons and the ball's still the same. The putter, who knows, but the driver, I think, is going to be the big one. It's called the Dark Speed. I don't know a whole lot about it, but
that's what DeChambeau uses, yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm pretty sure.
So to be honest, as a Titleist guy, I'm always say it's going to be a move backwards, but I think it is a move backwards for him.
Yeah,
I don't think the equipment is as good. I don't think the research and development is as good as what Titleist does. So I like Max, and I think it's a loss for Titleist.
Yeah,
he's an affable sort of guy. He's always on, does lots of podcasts, and he's always tweeting on what do you call it now? X. Says some funny things. He's a good interview. He's so it's a bit of a loss, but that's his choice. So
I think it is Lululemon gear. I quite like the shirts have that moisture wicking, so they're good for the summer here because otherwise you've got big patches on yourself. You got to have those shirts. Yeah, it's pretty good for that.
Good fabrics, like nice
good
designs.
Fabrics, yeah. It's like it's breathable and looks good. They're not cheap.
Sure it's not cheap. So disappointing that Max is gone, but so be it.
You were saying 3D printed irons? What was that? That's so wild,
blasphemous.
Yeah, I know. Like especially here in the land of Miura.
Get out.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means. I just listened to Max talk about it when he was playing at the first event.
It's not Hawaii. It's not made of. It must not be made of metal.
No, I think it just means they copy it, don't they? I mean, they can
not carbon then or something?
No, I think it's still stainless steel. The irons are still stainless steel. They just look like Titleist irons with Cobra written on the back. So I think they've just probably copied or close to, not copied.
Maybe there are some sorts of composite aluminium or something. The face would have to. It could be.
This is just the irons are 3D printed.
But you know the way it's all separated. It could be the face, could be iron, and the rest could be an aluminium or something that can go into liquid and then be 3D printed, right?
I don't know. Watch this space.
Can you 3D print with hot iron? I don't think so.
I think you can.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cobra Golf produces line of irons incorporating 3D printing technology, the King 3D printed series.
Dang.
Wild.
Okay.
Have to look into that more. But yeah, in collaboration with Hewlett-Packard. Weird.
Okay.
You hear DeChambeau talking a lot about him doing 3D printed irons as well.
Oh yeah, he's got those irons that have got a strange name.
That they're bulging in the
they've got the bulging face like a driver.
Struth. What's next with that lunatic?
He's on a different planet though.
Did you see that one, the YouTube he did where he was just giving people money?
He gave $100,000 to a guy if he could have a hole-in-one over his house. You know how he was doing that?
And it went
and he did it. He holed out.
Oh, the fifth shot.
So he's some
way.
guy.
Got $100,000.
Yeah, $100,000.
But you got to watch that whole episode.
Some guy.
Some punter. You can have a look at it on YouTube. Just a guy like us. It looked like a good player because
he could play. He had no swing.
And on his fifth try, holed it over DeChambeau's house. Unbelievable.
So on that show that he posted, he was doing all different things. He was giving random people, what appeared to be random people, like, if you make this putt, I'll give you $5,000. He even got on like Garrett from Good and said, if Garrett can make a birdie on any of these 3 holes, we'll give this guy $10,000. You know, he'd do all of these things for this whole episode. And the last one was, if you can hole out over my house, I'll give you $100,000. Fifth shot, done it.
It's like the guy, that guy in the States. My kids watch him, Mr. Beast. He has the biggest subscribers of anybody, and he just does all that kind of stuff. Like
he spends money to make money, doesn't he?
Yeah, right. Yeah. He'll say, "I'll give you $100,000 if you give to anybody who stands on this, can the longest."
Yeah,
there's 10 people standing on the can. The last guy falls off. There you go, it's $10,000. Like stuff like that.
Yeah, but look how many followers this guy's got.
Yeah. Well, it brings that tension. It's almost like what we were saying TGL needs to do. So it's like, hold this shot and you can get some money.
If DeChambeau puts out a video, he gets more views than TGL does.
Yeah. And I think that was all sponsored by the one, like a protein bar or something.
Oh, okay, like a Cliff Bar or something.
Yeah,
like one of those
they have all
things.
different flavors, like Reese flavor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I saw them being sponsored. So I just imagine these guys are like, DeChambeau couldn't do it. There's no way this guy's going to do
Exactly.
it. And I think he had a time limit of 7 minutes or something like that.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Or 7 hours maybe.
Okay.
And so the chances of him being able to do it in 7 hours, we're safe.
Yeah,
All of a sudden,
he's
this company's had to fork out a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
That house is all windows too.
It is too.
They actually
He did
put
up a little net, didn't they?
Yeah,
I saw that.
yeah.
In case he bladed it through the window.
Yeah.
Crikey.
Something I probably would have done.
Crikey, Moses.
But anyway.
All right, we're moving on time here, boys. Is there any golf happening this weekend? I know you've been playing your socks off. I haven't played this year yet. Have you played this year?
Yeah. I played on Saturday out in Fuji Resort Country Club, which is first time. It's quite nice, actually. A little bit, I was telling Joe, a bit of a bubbly clubhouse, but the course is okay, fairly narrow. I had one of those days where...
Better explain what bubbly means, mate, Roy.
A bubbly, like built in the bubble Japanese economy. Oh. But I had one of those days where every OB should have gone OB. They bounced back into the fairway. I think he had 4 of them.
Oh, I need that. That never happens for me, let me tell you.
Yeah, but no, it was lovely. But this coming week, I've got no golf.
I want to go play golf. Can I go play golf with you, Joe? Where are you playing?
No, I'm actually playing tomorrow.
Really?
I'm playing tomorrow at Oshima Island, which is 2 hours. Just telling the guys.
Oshima Island?
Yeah,
no way.
We've got a 9-hole
2-hour ferry out there.
2-hour
from
ferry
Tokyo,
ride.
Yeah.
Wow.
Over and then back.
What
Leaves
have
at
you got?
8:30 in the morning.
That's
and
a
then
Taiheo
2:30 in
course?
we have just bought it, purchased it, and they're going to renovate it and put some accommodation on there. And
That's the
fix it
only
up.
course on the island?
I believe so.
It's basically a volcano.
Is it?
It is,
what
that's right, yeah.
If you look at it
Okay.
from
That's
Google
right.
Maps, it's actually part of Minatoku City, which is...
This is true as well, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So I'll report next week about
I'll take a few
what
vids.
what it's like. Yeah, I will. Apparently, it's a great piece of land. It just needs a renovation, but it could be quite special. And then I'm taking Joe Fisher, who you may know, to Gatemba. He's just become a member of Taiheo. To Gatemba on Sunday. So I'm going to go for a couple of hits. So
Nice.
that'll be my first hit this year.
Won't be cold.
I see the sun's not going to be out either at Gatemba on Sunday too. The
Might not
forecast.
even open.
I'm actually... Am I doing that this week, the playing partner?
Next week.
Next week.
Friday.
Okay. Got to get me snow tires on.
Mm.
Note to self.
Where is it? Where are you playing?
Fuji
Fuji Kagosaka.
Fuji Kagosaka, which is
Okay.
going to be chotto samui ne.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Like that calendar behind you.
Yeah.
They're the ice monsters, by the way, in Yamagata, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. Cold golf.
Yeah, cold golf.
I moved to Japan to get away from that.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, I hope you don't get a chance to play so that you're real rusty when we play towards the end of the month. And Damon and I are going to smoke your team.
I'll be real rusty anyway. Well, mind you, if I get the mini driver on the Fairway wood, that could be... Well, not
Yeah.
Fairway wood, the utility
hybrid, yeah.
hybrid. Could be you could be in trouble. I'll sit in the mustard.
He'll
stripe.
have it too, though. So we'll be.
Yeah.
We'll
Did
head to head.
you got some footage of
Yeah,
sitting there,
yeah, that's right. I'll have to put something together and put it up.
I want to see because you were filming my screen and then a couple of shots. So I'll see that.
Actually, Cobra Golf designed the original hybrid.
Really?
They were the first people to do it. It was called the Baffler. I think they probably still have one of their hybrids that's still called a Baffler.
Wow.
But yeah, they're the first people to do it. Anyway, sorry, I thought I just added that in there.
Throw that in there.
Sorry. Can you do a...
Okay, so we've got some very sexy outro music now, so we'll just
Take it away.
it's a bit too much, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hey, we're into it.
It's like it is 70s.
It's got that TGL vibe, you know.
Oh yeah, TGL. All right, lads. Well, I think we've covered it all this week. So without further ado, we'll bid you all sayonara and thanks very much.
See you next time.
Cheers, boys.
Bye.